What's happening, everybody? It's Podcast Unlocked, episode 211. One more week till you know what, guys.
Palindrome.
Destiny.
See?
No,
Sean
just kidding.
knows. Come on.
Well,
Destiny.
that
You're wearing
too.
a Destiny shirt. That's all I saw. Yeah.
You sell out.
That's true.
Oh,
It is also one more week until
Yeah.
Destiny.
Super fan.
Not that you were wrong, but you were wrong.
Palindrome.
It's palindrome. The
Got it.
answer
No,
was palindrome.
everybody's right. I'm Ryan McCaffrey. That's Sean the Shark Finnegan. Good to
Hello.
see you again.
Yeah, it's been a while. Thanks
a
for
while.
having me back.
Yeah. And Destin Legary,
I'm back.
You
No more
bailed on the show for Destiny.
No more Destiny live streams. They let me free.
Yeah,
You're
but
doing a live stream today, though.
Doing one today, man.
Yeah.
I'm
it'll be
picking
over
up
by
your
the
slack.
time anybody hears this. But are we streaming Destiny all week?
Yeah, so
Next
next
week, yeah.
week will be Destiny week. You're going to see a
next
lot of that
week.
on IGN. Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's when
well,
the
I mean,
update
we
hits.
have a stream today, but by the time this goes live, that will be over. Like you pointed out, that's literally today.
But next week with all the Taken King
Yeah,
stuff.
next week Taken King launches on Tuesday. We're gonna have a stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the raid opens Friday, so you'll be able to see all
Oh
that
man!
on IGN.
So, and that's 1 p.m. Pacific that starts, correct?
So it's different times. It's Tuesday will be 10 to 5.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you
we're
guys
starting
are,
early that day.
you guys
That's
are
launch
diving
day.
in.
That's
Well,
launch day.
that's when it opens. So.
Yeah, 10 to 5 on Tuesday, 1 to 5 on Wednesday and Thursday, and then what did we decide on Friday? Another 1 to 5, I think.
When
that
the
was-
raid opens, it's just 10 a.m., I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah. So another early one. On
Are you
that
guys
day.
going to be ready for the raid on Friday?
That's the goal with
It's all up
Tuesday
to
and
him,
Wednesday,
man.
or with Wednesday
Yeah.
and Thursday. We're going to be grinding a lot those days, getting ready. There's a lot to
Yeah.
do, but we'll be ready.
So we can watch the stream and live vicariously through you if I'm stuck at work.
Yeah, come watch
Yeah.
us like beat our heads against a brick wall and try and figure out this raid.
That's how the raid usually goes.
Yeah, at least for the first day, right? Like no one. I mean, people will figure it out the first
Second
day.
week, you
I
kind
don't
of have a
think we'll be one of those
system.
people.
Hopefully your team's gelling,
Yeah.
Got it
You
worked
gelling?
out. Yeah, you know what I mean.
my God.
A little bit.
Dr. Scholes.
Oh man. Well, yeah. So it's episode 211. It is September 9th today, and that means 9/9 means we've got a few notable video game birthdays.
Oh, okay.
Destiny is one of them. Destiny,
Happy birthday, Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their first birthday today.
Yeah.
Woo! That
Hard
means
to believe that a year's gone by in that game already.
Year one's over.
Yeah.
It did go by quick, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, people are always criticizing us for covering Destiny all the time, but it seems, I mean, people are really interested in this game. Like, they consume content like none other. It's been a huge game on IGN for a long time, and it just makes the time fly.
Yeah, they're going to see a big surge on Tuesday. A lot of people, like even yourself, you've been
I'm
like, I
ready
don't
to
care
come
about
back.
Destiny.
Yeah,
but,
because they've made a ton of what appear to be, what I'm told, are excellent gameplay changes and improvements. And my big complaint, besides the story, which we'll get to later on in the show,
Still not fixed.
well, we know there was a lawsuit with Marty O'Donnell.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, and that lawsuit's over, and it's made some revelations. But yeah, like besides the story, my big thing with Destiny for me as a busy guy, full-time job, dad at home, with not a ton of gaming time, or at least not nearly as much as I used to have, is that the raid is unequivocally the best part of the game. I got to sample it when we went up to Bungie for IGN first over a year ago now, and I played it with Jason Jones and Luke and all the guys, and I was like, this is cool. And we all even did like the first part of the first raid, and I was like, oh, I could see
you
this
got
is really great.
You got just before the
door,
Templar, I
right?
think. Yeah, you went through the door.
Or actually, no, we went in. We went whatever
You
the
went,
first
you went
boss.
in and you started the Templar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, this is really great, but you had to be 26 to do it. When you finish the quote unquote story in Destiny, I was, I think, 18,
17
19
or 18, something like that.
and I just didn't. And I knew after talking to you guys that it was a crazy grind to get to 26. And I just, especially last fall, it's the fall season, I just had no interest in grinding away to get to 26. So the fact that Taken King and the 2.0 stuff is going to let me auto level to 25 plus all these other changes they're making, I think I'm gonna hop back in.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this a couple times before, but if you are one of those people who's either stepped away from the game or was on the fence about playing it in the first place, now is the time to jump in.
back
Like
in.
Taken King is the perfect time.
Yeah.
Like you pointed out, there's that one-time usable consumable that's gonna auto
How do I
level
get
you
that,
level.
guys? How do
It'll
I
just
get it?
appear in your postmaster.
Well, what they've said is that you might have to create a new character and go through the tutorial, and then it'll be there. I don't know.
I don't
know
wanna
for
do
sure.
that.
I don't know for sure though.
Okay.
No, that's
Like, so,
they did say that.
Yeah,
So
that's
what'll happen
all
is-
that we know. But it might
Wait,
just be at your
I
postmaster.
can't just level my dude.
I don't want to say that specifically because like we don't know how it's going to work on launch day. So you know, I don't want to make any assumptions.
The speculation, and I think that they hinted at this is the way it was going to work, was that I think I remember Deej saying this on one of the live streams, was that you'll create a new character, you'll do the opening tutorial that just teaches you to like jump and stuff. You have to earn your grenade. You specifically do that.
You do all that
the first time you go to the tower, which is right after the very first mission.
It's quick,
You can grab the consumable and auto level to 25 and forget about all that content.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems a little silly that I can't just have that item on my level 18 guy, but whatever.
Just go through the tutorial with a new character, give it to your level 18 guy, and level him up. But I don't know what happens. Like, I don't know. We're going to find out more on Tuesday about how that particular consumable works.
I was curious. What class did you play?
The Titan.
Nice.
Realizing we've been talking about Destiny for 6 minutes. If you guys really like Destiny, we have a podcast called Fire Team Chat.
Please.
Airs every Friday at 5 p.m. So you guys can hear more about our thoughts on Destiny.
Or whenever you want on iTunes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a great show. You guys have had a lot of success with it. It's glad to see it doing really well. But yeah, so I started on this with birthdays. 9/9. September 9th is a strangely popular day in video game history. Destiny turns 1. The Beatles rock band turns 6 today.
Wow.
I know that people
Happy
are
birthday, Beatles and rock band.
Why are you noting that? I mean, you guys remember
I was at that E3 reveal. That makes me feel old.
with with McCartney and Ringo. Right? Yeah. That was the one E3 that I've ever missed in my career, because that was the year that the recession had hit, and our company did like tighten the belt so much, which they just had to do. I get it, where we could only send like a couple of people from each team to E3. So the editor-in-chief went. I didn't get to go. That was the one year I watched E3 from home. And yeah, I missed the Beatles. That made me sad. But that game was very significant at its time. I mean, it ultimately came way too late, right? That it came after the genre had the plastic instrument music genre had started to fade. But that was, getting the Beatles to do a video game had never been done. It was a huge deal.
Wasn't that the very first licensed outside of the very first licensed Beatles product of any medium? Because I believe that that happened prior to their whole collection being available on iTunes.
No, I think it was around the same time.
Okay.
It might have all been right in the same. Same
it was.
push.
It was when they were loosening up a little bit.
Yeah, but remember the whole story was that Danny Harrison, George's son, was like a big rock band fan, and he was kind of the primary instrument for getting the deal done. But
I see what you did there. Primary instrument.
Not even on purpose. But I appreciate you pointing that out. And the Dreamcast.
Oh, the Dreamcast.
Celebrating a birthday
look
today.
Back fondly on the Dreamcast.
I think if
like
you
that
had
platform.
one, you do look back fondly on it. It was so ahead of its time.
It was really good. Yeah, it was just too expensive.
I had many hours playing Crazy Taxi on it.
Too expensive, and they made way too many of them.
In a way, it was kind of the proto Xbox. It had a modem in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It had an online service that didn't take off, and it had
The
a lot
controller with the
yeah. You're
Triggers,
right.
yeah.
And then of course remember the VMU too, the little not that the Xbox didn't have that, but the little thing
similar.
you could plug in and had a little Tamagotchi type game.
Yeah, you had a
on it.
pet that you could raise.
It was a memory card that had a video game built into it,
And
a screen.
I think there was Sonic or
so
something.
cool.
Like that pet would interact with your Sonic game somehow, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then a lot of Dreamcast games would end up sort of seeing new life on the original Xbox later. Jet Set and Shenmue, sorry, and of course we did see Sonic went multi-platform, but Panzer Dragoon came to the original Xbox later as a new game. So yeah, Dreamcast, may it rest in peace. Very near and dear to Peter Moore's heart still.
Yeah.
He mentioned a little bit back on Unlock 201.
Yeah.
Something else had a birthday today. Some other platform. I can't remember.
The original PlayStation.
Yes.
The first PlayStation back in 1995. So
That old gray
it's
box.
20 years old today.
It was all right. Moving on. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I actually never had the original PlayStation.
Snap, man.
I was a PC gamer exclusively in that time.
Metal Gear, man.
I didn't have any consoles.
I was still
platform.
too young at that point to have transitioned over to PC gaming. But my first PlayStation, I have so many memories of. I was a big skateboarder when I was a kid.
Tony Hawk.
Not
bro?
Tony Hawk, but Thrasher.
Oh,
Skate and Destroy.
nice.
That was the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was like pre-Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Go back and watch videos of that game. It's so bad. But back in the day, I was like, this is the coolest.
Yeah.
But you could argue, I mean, well, or at least you can question, you can have a discussion about it's possible the Xbox would never have existed without the PlayStation.
Sure.
Because the whole point of the Xbox was to stop Sony from completely taking over the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So if there'd been no PlayStation, it had just been kind of Nintendo doing their Nintendo thing, and maybe if Sega, I mean, if there's no PlayStation, maybe the Dreamcast survives.
Yeah.
It's a whole, there's the butterfly effect. Where's Ashton Kutcher?
I think PlayStation has more, in terms of gaming's DNA nowadays, I think PlayStation has more to do with gaming becoming a mainstream thing than most other consoles.
I completely agree with that.
Nintendo, we all grew up with Nintendo, but we
Yeah.
were gamers, and gaming was like for gamers. It was
Correct.
still like a basement type thing that you
Yes.
did. But it was when PlayStation, and more specifically PlayStation 2, came out that it became like, wait, people who didn't play games were like, wait, what is this gaming thing? Why do we need these? And it was like DVDs and all that
Yep.
stuff that kind of just pushed it into the mainstream. So
Toy Story graphics,
yeah,
y'all.
you look back at those like very fondly. Did you have a PlayStation game that you played back in the day? A lot?
PS1?
Yeah.
Probably. Well, I would always go over to my friends and play it. And then later I played Metal Gear and Metal Gear VR missions on PlayStation
Yeah.
2 because it was backwards compatible. PlayStation 2 is like where I got hardcore into gaming.
Yeah.
Because, it had the DVD player and that made it a really good deal at the time. But PlayStation...
Well, it was a Trojan horse for DVD players in
Yeah.
homes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but PlayStation 1, I would play over at my friends. We'd play Gran Turismo, a little bit of Need for Speed, a little bit of Tony Hawk, and later Metal Gear.
And anybody who's sitting there listening to the show complaining that we're talking about PlayStation stuff, this is all
games,
this is all
man.
games history.
Games.
This is all important stuff.
Yeah.
But
Nothing exists in a vacuum. It all affects
Not
each
at all.
other.
Yeah, but I forget where I was going with that. Anyway, we're giving away a copy of Metal Gear Solid 5 today,
That's where you go.
courtesy of there's a super fan.
Phenomenal game.
There's a super fan listener who works at Konami who said, "Here, have a code for the show to give away." And
Awesome.
thank you very much.
Thanks, Jay Bohr. Just kidding.
It's not Jay. So
You're
yeah,
not getting it.
For those of you the thousands of you that entered the giveaway for the console, the Gears of War console we gave away last week that didn't win, I promised you last week you were then in the pool
For the
to be
next one.
considered for future prizes and cool stuff like a copy of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain
Lot of-
for the Xbox One.
A lot of people are playing on PlayStation 4. I got it on Xbox because I did all the Ground Zero stuff on Xbox.
Sure.
So I'm like, I don't want to do that all again on PlayStation 4. Of
course not.
What happens is your progress in Ground Zeroes actually contributes to your progress on Xbox.
Nice.
Like you get soldiers.
You mean
and
on
stuff.
Phantom Pain?
Yeah, on Phantom
Yeah.
Pain. Sorry.
Good. Well, that is good stuff. So we'll give that away coming
Metal
right
Gear's
up.
so good. Sorry.
Do you want go ahead?
I love Metal Gear. I'm 2% into that
We
game.
gave it a 10. It's a fantastic
yeah,
game.
I'm 2% into that game. I've been in it playing it 8 hours just doing side quests. And
Yeah.
the reason I spent so much time is because if I'm sent on a mission, I literally extract every single person.
Leave no man behind, Destin.
That is my goal. Put everybody to sleep, extract them all, and only then am I allowed to complete the mission.
I love that. That's great.
And then I'm like, all right, what else is there? Blow up the satellites. All right, I got all the satellites. Are there any other side things? No? All right, extract.
So you're really approaching it with a completionist mentality.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing this game for like 2 years.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal. It's like somebody said in the office, it's one of those desert island games that you
fair.
could just play for ever
Yeah.
if you want to.
But how are you going to play that and Destiny 2.0 stuff?
I'll take breaks, go back and forth, Oh, I need a break from Metal Gear. I'll go play Destiny for a while, shoot some people.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. All right, we'll come right back and do the news. Kind of a slow news week this week, but a few interesting stories. We will be right back. All right, let's continue with the news. Ryan McCaffrey, Shark Finnegan, Destin Legary joining you.
Hi, everybody.
Marty on vacation. Mitch
Just
working or
lazy.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
Didn't want to walk over here from his desk.
It's all the way over there, guys. I can't make it.
Can we do the show at my desk? No, Mitch. First up this week, former Xbox boss Robbie Bach has been making the rounds on a book tour. He wrote himself a book about his days working at Microsoft. He talked to GeekWire about a few interesting topics I thought would be worth mentioning and discussing. First up, the reasons for the Xbox's success. He says, quote, "One, Microsoft was persistent and willing to fund us, which in some ways was not mathematically logical, but a good thing. Second was Halo. People forget, though, that the first version of Halo didn't support Xbox Live because Xbox Live didn't exist when it shipped. The third thing was Xbox Live. Without Halo and Xbox Live, Xbox doesn't make it."
I hacked my Xbox to you. There was some game app that came out where people could actually play Halo online.
XB Connect.
Is that what it was?
It too.
Yeah, it was
I did
XB Connect, and you could play online Halo 1.
It was laggy as heck, though, because
it was rough, but it was such a cool experience because back then nothing really was doing that yet.
I was very well aware that you did not have online support for the first Halo because much of my high school experience was LAN parties over the weekend where you would system link and play 4v4.
Which is the best way to play.
Yeah, I mean, my buddy had this house where, it was a 2-leveled house, and his room was on the bottom floor, and then the living room was on the top floor, and we'd system link down.
Running the network cable.
Yeah, network cable down the stairs, blue team up top, red team down below, blue team for life.
That's cool.
We played the same, 8 of us on weekends.
Blood Gulch?
Basically the whole, all of my high school years. And
that's so great.
It was that and Counter-Strike that we'd land, we'd switch off. And
the Xbox version of Counter-Strike?
Oh, no, not that. The PC version.
The PC version.
Yeah. I've said it before on Unlocked, but that generation, the Xbox, the original Xbox, PS2, GameCube generation, that's the generation of consoles I missed out on because I was so involved in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
So I had to go play it with my friends, but that was fine because we played every weekend, and that was my formative years of Halo.
And
stuff.
we always say that, the Xbox wouldn't have made it without Halo. But it's very interesting to hear Robbie Bach say it. Hear him say, yep, that console wouldn't have made it if it hadn't been for Halo. And it's true. I mean, that the rest of the lineup was mostly terrible for the first year, other than Halo, which was the killer app, and then you just had everything else. And it wasn't until I started at OXM at the exact perfect time. I started in October of 2002, which was just right about 1 year into the Xbox. And that was when Live launched. That was when Splinter Cell came out. That was when just a bunch of stuff started to. That was when the sort of that second wave of games started to hit.
Yeah.
But that first year, that was Halo carrying the team on its back.
And Fusion Frenzy. Actually, I don't remember if that game was out that year, but I remember playing a lot of Fusion Frenzy too.
Oh, you're not being sarcastic.
No, dude. Fusion Frenzy was a great alternative. Once Halo once you've been playing for 10 hours, you're like, let's play a little Fusion Frenzy. There was this mini game where you're basically on a screw and you have to you're all running along and going up and you have to jump over things and then dive and it gets faster and faster and faster and it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool little mini games in that thing.
I played Rainbow Six. Ton of Rainbow Six.
Well, that didn't come out till 2003.
Oh, really?
That was Rainbow Six 3 was.
My Xbox memories are Halo 1.
Yep.
And then Rainbow Six. That's what I come back to when I think of that console.
Yeah,
maybe a little Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was. Well, I reviewed Rainbow Six 3 for the original Xbox. It was Christmas. It was fall of 2003. So the year after Live launched, but the year before Halo 2 came out and completely sent everything into the stratosphere. And Rainbow Six 3 was a big effing deal. It was so
phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah.
And that was you could use your headset from Xbox Live to give the voice commands to your team. You get your AI buddies.
The reason I got the game is because I needed a headset for online because I knew Halo 2 was coming, right? And I'm like, well, it comes bundled with Rainbow Six. I'll try out this Rainbow Six game, and I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah. The OXM crew would give me so much crap for doing the voice commands in the off. I'd be like, go, 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 and they'd be like, you're so dumb. And sure enough, what are we doing years later? We're giving voice commands to everything.
Everyone gives me crap because it's like I'm marked. Oracles. Yeah.
I'm the one who gives him the most crap. I sit next to Destin. I have to listen to him muttering that stuff all the time.
You're ruining my footage. Don't do that. Yeah.
Do you think you mutter Destiny raid commands in your sleep?
In my sleep? No. Definitely.
How do you ask your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Does he say anything weird while he sleeps? Yeah, something about I need a cleanse. I just figured he ate bad food that day.
Something about grabbing the relic.
Yeah.
So another interesting bit from Robbie Bach, he says the original Xbox lost between $5 and $7 billion, which we knew it was
the OG one,
a big
and then
loss.
the next one with the red ring.
Well,
you know?
yeah, the 1 point something billion dollar, $1.1 billion write down, but the 360 eventually made money.
Yeah.
But yeah, the original Xbox was. That's why they killed it. So they've said. I mean, Peter Morse said. I mean, I think they've said it before, but back on Unlock 201, he said that we couldn't kill it fast enough because it was costing them money with every box they sold. Every box they sold was
still a huge amount of money, $5 to $7 billion. I wouldn't have guessed it was that much. But I guess when you include like R&D and marketing and and this was their first foray into hardware, right? Like at this point, Microsoft hadn't made any hardware.
Let's see here. Well, that's a good question. That was certainly pre-Zune, had they built? That's an excellent question. I'd have to think more about. I don't know.
So let's follow
I'm sure
up on
they've
that.
made something. They must have made something at that point.
I mean, I'm sure they'd prototype stuff, right? There was those there are those photos of Bill Gates introducing what is ostensibly an iPad in 2001, and then everyone being like, that thing sucks. And then 10 years later, Steve Jobs does it and was like, that thing is awesome, right?
Amazing.
But I don't think that I remember any other Microsoft hardware specifically being made before the Xbox.
Yeah.
I think it was all software.
Maybe.
I could be wrong.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a software company, or always had been.
Yeah.
And then the other interesting tidbit that Mr. Bach dropped, he said he was talking about the always rumored Xbox handheld, the Xboy, as it were.
Oh boy.
Glad
He
that
said,
didn't come out.
We had 5 things we had to do to make Xbox successful. If you add Xboy to that, that's another 5 or 10 things that have to get done. The team just could not possibly have done that. We literally said no for the most part, just out of focus. As it turned out, it was brilliant because that market went away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still get tweets or podcast emails from time to time like, do you think Microsoft will make a handheld? Like, that ship sailed years ago.
Yeah, I mean, people who've had great success with it in the past, like Vita even failed pretty hardcore, and now Sony doesn't even talk about Vita ever.
Well, and I say this not in a like fanboy troll way, but have any of the PlayStation handhelds even been really successful? I mean, the original.
I'm under the impression that the PSP was pretty successful.
PSP, I guess in Japan,
right? That's what I said. Like that's what I was basing that statement on.
In Japan, it did
OG
really
PSP.
well, right? Because it never did super well here. I had one.
Yeah.
I bought it at launch and ended up selling it after a while because I
bought
just
a
didn't
launch
use it.
one, sold it when version 2 came out, and then
Right.
bought a version 3 because it was the superior.
The
it was
Go?
like the no.
The OLED one? No, wait, sorry, that was way later.
Okay, so there's version 1, there was version 2, which is an upgraded version 1. Then there was a third version where they upgraded the amount of pixels on the screen, and it looked a lot more crisp and had better battery life. That's the version I bought and own. And then they did the Go, the smaller one,
which bombed. It was just not.
It was
the world.
Yeah,
it was a
nobody wanted
little.
that thing.
Well, it was because it was pretty much all digital.
Yeah.
And the world wasn't quite ready for all digital yet.
I think they weren't ready for UMD. They were certainly not ready for digital. Yeah.
Luminous was amazing, though. I will always remember Luminous fondly.
The system had great games, but that's what I meant when I said that. Is like PlayStation has kind of a history in doing like handhelds successfully, and I mean obviously Nintendo, but neither of those are selling, except for the 3DS, are selling well.
But even the 3DS isn't doing great now.
I mean, it's doing
fine.
It's doing great for a handheld, but
Yeah.
when you compare, like when you lump in handhelds with other handhelds like iPhones, exactly, then it's not performing comparatively.
Apple
at
just
all.
announced their new iPhones, actually. That's why I'm like
Did they really?
filling
Oh,
on
you
my
keep
phone. Sorry.
Is that
I'm
still going up
curious.
on
Yeah, it's still going on.
Okay.
We're recording as the Apple conference is like blaring from our.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we knew the success was coming. Are you really? You have
I'm
a,
not
you have
surprised.
a 6 Plus. What do you care?
Yeah, I have a 6 Plus. I just want battery life, man. Battery life in a smaller version.
Oh, you want the 6 Plus's battery life in the 6?
In the 6.
That's what I want to, because the 6 Plus, honestly, man, it's too big.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Tech
Sorry.
Fetish.
Sorry.
Tech Fetish tangent.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Tech Fetish.
Yeah. I'm
Anyway.
glad they didn't do the Xboy.
Yeah, I mean, it's to
bring it back.
Yeah, if they were gonna do it, they would have had to have done it around the time the 360 launched, which, as Robbie Bach says, they probably both products probably would have suffered if they would have split their focus between a handheld and the 360.
Yeah.
Valid concern.
So, the Xboy, it did never and will never happen, folks.
Good.
In case you're in case you're curious. All right. Destiny. Here's a game you guys can talk more.
It's almost like we're on a show about it.
So there, as you guys may recall, there was a lawsuit some months ago involving Marty O'Donnell, the longtime composer.
It was actually like a year ago.
And famed Halo composer.
Well, did I say Destiny or Bungie?
He did.
He did specify.
All right, longtime Bungie composer.
Yeah.
Who, of course, responsible for the classic Chanting Monks theme from Halo
and Destiny's soundtrack.
Destiny's soundtrack. Yeah. I mean, ODST's soundtrack's brilliant. I mean, this guy, he wrote the Flintstones Kids Vitamins jingle, who some of you may be too young to know, but we are Flintstones Kids. Look it up on YouTube.
He wrote that?
He wrote that.
I didn't know
I'm being
that.
serious. Yeah,
wow.
That's a real thing.
I had one of those every morning when I was a kid.
Yep.
Because
Flintstones
of that song?
chewables,
The red one.
in the shape of the Flintstones characters.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I took those for a while when I was a kid. Anyway, Marty O'Donnell.
Maybe the monk chant is actually the Flintstones theme, like slow down.
Just remixed.
Like really slow.
Slowed way down.
Yeah.
You know, nothing would surprise me these days. But yeah, so he was he claimed he was fired from Bungie, and it was definitely all very sudden, made big news at the time, and he did
shortly after his buddy, the other guy,
Joe Staten.
Sorry, he left.
Yeah, which we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, Marty was no longer with Bungie in a sudden and unexpected way. He filed a lawsuit seeking.
He wants his stock, and he wants
his
the
stock
pay that
and his paid his vacation. Like they didn't. They basically just cut him, let him go. And
who would not want their stock?
Of course, and because he'd been there. He was I don't think quite an original member of Bungie, but not a co-founder. But he was, I think, the longest-serving non-founder outside of Jason Jones.
And he won.
A grizzled ancient is what the Bungie terminology is. He won his lawsuit.
He got like $150K and all his stock back that he was
And good
owed.
for him. I mean, you put in the time.
No, he deserves it. Yeah,
he absolutely does. And what's interesting is during the course of this lawsuit, some interesting facts about Destiny have come out. First off, we know for sure that Destiny's story was
substantially revised beginning August 2013, 2 months before it was released.
Before it was supposed to release.
Actually.
And that's why they delayed it.
1 month.
Yeah. 1 month before its original September 2013 release date.
That's crazy to me. There are hints of this in the game. Like, if you go and look at all the sort of conspiracy theory threads on Reddit, there's a lot of people who, like, there's random sort of, like, relics of dialogue there.
There's
like
grimoire cards that literally say cutscene here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very strange.
Those slip through the cracks?
Yeah.
There's lines of, like, even hidden dialogue lines where, like, if you sneak up on, not Cabal, but acolytes from the Fallen, like, if in, or the Hive, like, when they hiss and they whisper, they'll say things about the darkness being related to the Guardians, meaning, like, there's this conspiracy that, like, you kind of, as the main player character of the game, wake up out of nowhere, right? And your ghost is like, you're one of the Guardians, and I brought you back to life. And it's like, we don't know what the darkness is. There was speculation that, like, we are the darkness, like, we're there to invade and defeat the Traveler, and none of that's addressed, but there's hints of it in the game.
Yeah. So the story is the primary reason why the game was delayed. First to March of 2014. And then ultimately, of course, came out in September.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this is it also sort of lends no confirmation, but the timing of it seems to indicate that Joe Staten left as a result of this as well.
Yeah.
Because he left right after this decision to radically alter the story.
He was the lore
made.
Master, so
for every Bungie game.
I can understand why he would take a massive revamp to the story very personally.
Where do you think that came from, though? I mean, that's the question, is like, why, what possible reason could anyone, even at the studio, or maybe it was a publisher, come in and be like, you're changing all of this?
Well,
extend its lifespan?
It could have been Jason Jones coming in and saying, putting his foot down if he wasn't happy with the direction. I can't imagine Activision had anything to do with it. I know people love to blame Activision as the big evil company, but their deal with Bungie is very much a publishing deal. Bungie has full creative control over Destiny.
They still have to meet milestones and stuff.
Of course. I mean, any developer that working with a publisher has to meet milestones in order to get paid. But in any case, yeah, it is now confirmed that Destiny's story was substantially changed, and it seems to have run at least one person, one longtime Bungieite out the door, and possibly a second one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that this is over, and I hope Marty. I mean, I spoke with him for about 45 minutes at E3. We just when he kind of came to us and we sort of more or less announced his new studio that he'd formed, Highwire Games, up in Seattle. With he's there with Jamie Griesmer, he's the creator of 30 Seconds of Fun from Halo. So he's a designer. He's at
grenade tagging, basically.
He's at Highwire with Marty, along with I'm trying to remember the other. Can't remember the other major part, but there's also. More recently, a guy named Vic De Leon, who, if you watch the Sprint, for the Halo 5 beta, that sort of little documentary that was about the making of the Halo 5 beta, he's in it a lot because he's like the lead artist. He had been at Bungie for years. He was one of the few that actually stuck with Halo. He went from Bungie to 343, and now he's actually moved over to Highwire to work with Marty. So hopefully Marty's happy now, especially with this over, and he can close the book on that chapter of his life, and everybody can move on. We got Destiny 2.0, Taken King stuff. Marty's working on some new game at Highwire.
Halo 5 is a month or so away.
Yeah, hopefully this
Halo
is
5's coming
behind them now, and we stop tweeting about it and whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But everybody seems to be doing well. That's the good news.
That's the important part.
And it is. I'm always going to advocate for the creators, the creative people getting their fair share.
Yeah.
Because that's, companies make a lot of money. Individuals don't.
Yeah.
So it's good to see and Destiny is not Destiny without Marty O'Donnell. Halo definitely isn't Halo without Marty O'Donnell. So good to see him get his shares of Bungie
He deserves
stock
it. Yeah,
back.
totally. Yes. He should probably sell like this week. I'm guessing stock's going to be at a high.
Gonna peak?
If he's going to, yeah.
Could happen. We'll see. 6 million copies sold in the first
month.
Yeah, that was also
1 month.
That was also in the court paperwork, and that's sold through. That's actually cha-ching. That's not shipped to retailers.
People still play this game?
The court documents also said Destiny 2 was supposed to come out when this year 2 stuff is coming out. So that was interesting.
Huh.
There's not too much we can glean from that, though.
I am so gonna win that bet with. I think it's either Marty or Mitch.
What is it?
I said that there. Or no, maybe it was Vince.
No, I think it was me.
Was it you?
Yeah. Did we bet on the fact that there would not be a Destiny with a number?
A proper Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be like Destiny. You think they're just going to keep doing DLC for one?
That's what he thinks.
No way.
They're
going to do a full retail release. They'd be stupid not to.
So that was my thing.
It's going to taste so good.
Yeah. At the beginning of their plan when they announced this all, I thought it would work the same way as an
MMO.
Diablo 3 does. You know, where it's major content patches can just be deployed over Xbox Live the way that they do normal DLCs, and then they would never make Destiny. It'd just be Destiny. Destiny's just Destiny.
That's the platform.
It's like World of Warcraft. They never made WoW 2, but Burning Crusade was essentially WoW 2. So yeah, that's what I thought it would be like.
Well,
they pretty much already said Destiny 2 is coming, and your Guardian will carry over into the next game.
Yeah, but they hadn't said that when we made this bet.
Yeah, they did. They said it at
No,
PSX.
You haven't officially
They
lost
said it at
yet.
PSX 2014 to me, and we wrote a news story about it.
This was before that.
I'm gonna get I'm gonna get a 3x3 with some fries and a drink, and it's gonna taste extra good when that Destiny 2 gets announced.
I don't mind.
At next year's
'Cause I'll go
E3,
with
probably.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, as Sean coughs his way through our. Nah, you're fine. You're right.
Trying to be.
You brought some water.
Yeah, I'm trying to stave off a little bit of a.
Drank a bunch of orange juice
cough.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Wait,
Keeping
and
your
you're in
fluids
here,
up.
and I'm locked in a room with you?
Yep.
Oh, for God's sake!
Come
man.
on, Sean.
You asked me, man.
Well,
I'm not sick yet. I'm trying to stave it off.
Well, that's when you make other people ill.
like I can feel it
He's
coming
fine.
on.
Sean's sick like every other week.
No, it's just been this summer, man. Like I've been on the road a lot. Just like I usually don't get sick. I just have had a bad streak, I guess.
Get more sleep.
I've been trying.
You sleep all. I see you sleeping at your desk.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the last couple of like weeks, I've been so tired. I've just been like, I'm gonna chill out right here before I go home.
Speaking of sick, Ubisoft is building a sick new next generation theme park in
That was great.
Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Kuala Lumpur,
You've never
Malaysia.
heard of Kuala Lumpur?
I've heard of it. I don't know how
Never
to
been there, but
say
I've heard of it.
Kuala Lumpur. Like
Correct.
that'd take me a few tries. Malaysia, due to open in 2020.
Yeah. So Ubisoft is building a theme park.
That's
How
so strange.
weird is that?
Leap of faith and the bales of hay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. You go up
have a
on
bunch of rabbits chase you.
There'll be a bungee cord tied to your just in case. But
Yeah.
like,
Do you think that like so they've had these obstacle courses and stuff at E3 for was it not E3? No, it's not E3. It's Comic-Con. Comic-Con, that's the one where they do it, and it's a pretty big hit. Like people love to do it. Do you think they looked at this and were like, "That's the next big thing"?
I don't know.
Theme parks.
They don't make that much money. I was looking at their financials a while ago.
Yeah.
So like a theme park is a $1 billion
it's
investment.
Also,
you
it's
know.
a
But with a
dying
huge
industry.
return.
Yeah.
But
Really?
it's dying.
A
does
huge
anyone
return?
go to Does anyone go to theme parks anymore?
I just went
Not
to
Unless
Disneyland.
it's
Yeah.
Disneyland.
Did you go to the Ubisoft
Like-
theme park in Malaysia?
You know,
though?
Have you even
if-
been to like
Yeah.
Great America recently? Like,
No.
it's decrepit. Like,
Yeah.
it's run down. You feel like you're gonna get stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it
or
used to
impaled
be,
on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
it used to be this great thing, and now because no one goes, they don't have the money to really maintain it as much anymore. Ticket prices have like dropped significantly. It's just I don't know.
I worry about them investing in a theme park. It seems so strange. And
They
it's
do have a
so
partner.
expensive. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why
Jean
it's in
de
Malaysia.
Riviere, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Senior Vice President of Ubisoft Motion Pictures, that's their movie angle studio that's doing the Assassin's Creed movie, said,
I was
That's
right about the
why.
leap of faith.
quote, "Together we are creating a place where every guest is a player, every ride is a playground, every visit is a game."
So that's what they're doing. They're doing the Disney thing. The
Your franchises are not Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy.
or Star
Well,
Wars.
hold on.
Or Star Wars or Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy to think that they're marketing it as though they are.
Hang glide over the entire park on Far Cry the Ride. Watch out for the animatronic tigers, but guess what? There's one real tiger mixed in. See if you can pick him out.
Yeah.
Stay away from him. He's hungry. And then how about the Splinter Cell experience, where you're thrust into a dark room, handed a pair of night vision goggles, and you get to run around choking out park employees. Wouldn't you want to go there?
I'd go
want to
there.
go there.
Yeah. Now that if I get to choke people out,
It doesn't
count
say you
me
get to
in.
choke them out. It just says you're in a pitch black room with a bunch of park employees.
And you get to run around choking
okay.
them all out.
All right.
Reading for the win.
Yeah. You said it differently. You put choking it out first.
By the way, these are all my ideas.
Yeah.
I'd like to
And the
point out
leap of-
these are not the officially
the
announced
leap of
experience.
faith, where you'll leap from a 5-story building to a giant pile of hay. I said that jokingly, but yeah, I
Well,
guess
great
you
minds
actually
think
do it.
alike.
Yeah.
They must have some indication that there's like a lot of interest in this Assassin's Creed movie to want to have their SVP launch a theme park.
It's absolutely
tied into it.
crazy. It sounds small though. I mean, there's only three rides that they're promoting, so maybe it's smaller.
No, these are
scale than
fake,
we're
dude.
thinking.
I made these up.
Oh,
Destin.
really? I thought these were real. They sound like real rides.
You think you could run
I thought
around
they were-
choking people out in a
I
dark
thought
room?
that was a joke. I thought it would be a dark room, but I thought like the leap of faith could be a thing. They already have the giant drop at Great America.
You think they're gonna let people leap from a 5-story building
No, it would be like a ride.
into a bale of hay?
It would be a ride, like the giant drop, and they'd have like crappy hay around it or something. So
I'm
it's
allergic
like
to hay.
jumping.
I couldn't even do the leap of faith.
Yeah. I didn't.
Destin.
God, I didn't think any of it was real.
You are the type
I thought
of
he was
person who this is
embellishing.
marketed towards.
I thought he was embellishing.
A real tiger that you have to avoid.
You know,
I thought
Destin,
those were the jokes Ryan was making.
You know, Destin, if you're a really good boy this year, Santa will bring you presents. Leave them under the tree.
I hate you guys.
So yes, this are Ubisoft. If you'd like to use any of my ideas, feel free.
Or if you want to bring us out there, we'll review it.
Yeah,
and
we'll review your theme park. Absolutely. Why not? It's perfect crossover. What IGN reader would not want to see that?
Yeah, and I mean, we did a book review the other day, so theme parks are right up next on the list in my sort of estimation, right?
Book, theme park.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That was such a great segment. I can't even top it.
We're going to have to come up with a really interesting headline around Destin's, what even to call it? Misinterpretation of the facts.
All right. Finally, Destin, I wanted to talk to you about this in a more serious manner.
Okay.
So more DLC is on the way for Mortal Kombat X. And what I wanted to ask you about was, first of all, it's due out in the first half of next year. It'll apparently be made up of new playable characters, as well as skins and a new stage. No further specifics were given. Is this, there's already been some DLC for Mortal Kombat X. Is this kind of thing the new normal for the fighting game genre specifically? Because we've seen...
So it's definitely with Warner Brothers and NetherRealm, this partnership, they parse out everything. So like they did it with the last Mortal Kombat, even with combat packs, and Injustice.
Really?
So
was it to this extent?
It was. They had General Zod. They did individual characters with Injustice, but with this one, they're doing character packs. And we've even seen like Baraka and stuff already in the code and built, and Tanya was already in the code. So definitely with Mortal Kombat. But in your notes here, you also have games like Killer Instinct are doing this. It's a smart business model.
Well, and Street Fighter V seems to be largely like this, where they're just gonna add on. They're gonna
add on. I don't know if it's characters, but they're gonna add on like cosmetic items, like different skins and stuff like that. And it sounds like moves also. We'll find out more about that later.
And then even Killer Instinct is built off this whole thing where it's seasons and it's...
Sorry, let me rephrase. Street Fighter isn't adding moves. Seth Killian's game is going to do that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a different product.
Right. So point being, I mean, is the fighting game
genre
now more of a platform type experience where we're not going to see Mortal Kombat 11 and
no, we're still going to see Mortal Kombat 11.
What about Street Fighter 6 if they're just going to be adding on?
We'll see Street Fighter 6 and we'll see Mortal Kombat 11, but what they do is they take some characters and they piecemeal them out. Like even with Destiny, we're kind of seeing this where like we're getting regular content updates that reinvigorates interest and it brings in a new demographic, so I don't think it's that weird. Like with this one, we're guessing that it's going to be some classic characters, so that's going to bring in the old school audience that hadn't checked out Mortal Kombat X yet.
What are some of the old school guys that aren't in X that you want to see back?
Smoke's not in there. I think we have Rain. See, I can't remember if I hacked the characters in and played as them, or they were announced as DLC.
Is Kung Lao in the game?
Kung Lao is one of the main characters.
He was always one of my
the
favorites.
Guy.
Yeah, from Mortal Kombat 2 he debuted.
Yeah, that was his original debut.
Cyrex, is he in there?
Cyrex and Sector are not in there, so they would be interesting additions. There's Bo Rai Cho,
and his cousin Skrillex.
Yeah. That'd be a funny Ender
DLC
fatality.
Character.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to find out more, and it is kind of moving towards the norm, just in our industry in general, where even The Witcher did it with a bunch of DLC packs. Those were free, though.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense
Dragon
for
Age.
games like Street Fighter and Destiny to some extent, where you hear devs talk a lot about how the way their audience plays the game affects how they design the game these days, and where like you can't charge someone $60 when it doesn't make sense to them and the publisher to charge $60 for a game that you play for 20 hours and $60 for a game that you play for 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter and Destiny are games that people play, or Call of Duty are games that people play for 1,000 hours.
That's
so
true.
It's like, how do they maximize that return? One is by piecemealing out DLC like this, and then one is making the game a service or a platform where it can continue to evolve over a certain period of time before it gets to the next major iteration, like a Street Fighter 6 or something. But like, whereas people can perceive this as a negative thing, where you can look at it as content's being withheld from us that should have been available at launch, and we have to pay extra for it. That may or may not be the case, but the other way to look at it is that now what you're paying for is the longevity of the game and the ability to avoid iterative DLCs like Street Fighter 5 Turbo or Alpha or HD Remix or any of the number ones that came out for Street Fighter 4.
All those were full releases.
Yeah.
So.
Like, how many discs do Street Fighter 4 players own now? Like, it's crazy, right?
When I was at Screw Attack, we would always jokingly talk about doing the top 5 Street Fighter 2s.
Yeah. And that's like, we laugh and think that that's funny because it is funny, but like, that's not how it should be. Like, if you want to play Street Fighter 4, when a content patch or whatever comes out that's iterative, you shouldn't have to buy a new disc, and those who buy the new disc or refuse to buy the new disc shouldn't be split off from the people who did, which is what happens, right?
Call of Duty does that a lot.
Yeah, it divides the community when you have, and that's worse for especially for things like FGC, which is very community based. Like people who play a lot of Street Fighter, and then a DLC pack comes out, and then they feel like they have to get that one, even if they weren't playing it as much, just because everyone else is in that, and now they won't be able to play with those people if they don't get it. This is just the better way to do it as far as it goes.
And I'll tell you what, I'll bet the next genre to go this route, sports. There was gonna come a day where Madden, there isn't a Madden 16. It's gonna be like a $5 a month subscription or something. It is
get
gonna
the monthly update. Player stats are updated.
NBA 2K, and they're gonna add. It'll be like Destiny, where maybe every year and a half, there'll be the 2.0, like the major content update.
Yeah.
And then just every month along the way, there'll be the roster updates, the tweaks, the fixes, the balance updates. I think sports games are going to be the next genre to head this way.
That's a really good call, because I mean, it makes total sense for sports. That's one of those things where it's like, we've had yearly releases for as long as anyone can remember, for the most part, and they're generally like, when you move to like FIFA 15 versus FIFA 14, all of the features that were in 14 are in 15.
Correct.
So it's not like you're getting anything less. Like, they should just be there.
Yeah, and it's hell on the development teams in sports, where these guys and men and women have 9 months to make something.
A game
because then there's because you have there's pre-production. You launch right into okay, what 6 major things can we get done this year, and we'll have to save the other 12 for the next 2 years, and then they have to test it, certify it, ship it. That's where the end of it's like they don't get a year, they get 9 months. So I wonder if sports games will be next on this. All right, I'm gonna go to the shark. Sean, what can we spend our hard-earned money on this week?
Do it.
I'm not gonna do it just because you asked me to.
Please.
Destin. Like Ron Swanson said. Over on retail, there's nothing new. No surprise there. But the Destiny 2.0 patch is out.
Download it now so you're ready for the 15th.
Yeah, this was it's released a week before. It includes all of the weapon tuning and balances, new PvP maps and modes, some new kind of features like Arms Day for the gunsmith and stuff, so that's cool. Forza 6 is out next week, but the review is up on IGN.com.
Ryan, who reviewed that?
Ryan?
Luke Riley reviewed that.
Luke
you
Riley.
did. I thought you did, for sure. You like the Forza series a lot.
I do very much enjoy Forza. It's a great series.
This one adds dynamic weather?
It's not dynamic, but there's rain.
Rain and stuff?
You can set rain on the track.
It's cool.
Does dynamic weather mean it changes?
Yeah.
Like,
that's the
Horizon.
Start raining.
Forza Horizon 2 did that, right?
Forza what?
Wait, say that again?
Horizon 2.
Thanks. Horizon.
I can't say words today, guys.
It was, sort of, because it's an open world, so it's, but not really.
Oh, okay.
That's the next place for Forza to go, honestly, is the full dynamic weather and more stuff like I'd love to see snow in there. Some different kinds of weather, but it does have. It's really good. I mean,
I want a story mode. Just kidding.
From what I've played of Forza 6, it just sort of overwrites Forza 5 because it's got everything 5's got, but way more with new features. Like they have these things called mods where they're like skulls in Halo. They're modifiers for the race.
Birthday grunts.
Yeah,
birthday grunts on the track that you have to run over.
If you bump into another car, just an explosion of confetti, yay, comes out.
That'd be amazing. Dude, one of my favorite things to do on PC was mod the hell out of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Yeah.
So like your car would go from 0 to 120 in like 2 seconds, and it had weight and increased mass to it, so you'd hit other cars and they go spiraling into the air and flying off into the distance. It was so fun.
So your car's not a car anymore; it's a rocket.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It was amazing.
In any case, yeah, Forza 6 is really good.
Yeah, it's
check
good.
out the review on IGN. And,
It says here that it's a 9.
Ooh.
Spoiler alert.
yep.
But that's really good.
Another 9 for the trophy case.
Yeah.
For turn 10, they deserve it.
Over on digital, we have Clusterpuck 99, which is
It's
$10 for gold members.
This game's really good. I got to play it at PAX. It's
Cool.
like a sort of like a 4-player or 8-player arcade soccer sort of game on unique tracks, like one shaped like the Xbox logo a little bit, and you have to you can bank off of corners and stuff like that. But it's really fun.
Nice. Glad to hear it.
Cool. Check that one out. Aritana and the Harpy's Feather. No
Interesting
idea
name.
what
Yeah.
that is, but it is
New
a
to me.
$10 thing. Free trial mode available.
Yes,
Says
more
here
games
is,
with free trials.
Says
Wow,
here it
that's
is a
good.
platform game with a mechanic based on the switching of postures. These are what define the attributes of speed, jump, attack, and special abilities. You must choose between these postures to overcome obstacles and fight the spirit of the forest
Postures.
in a
All right,
fast
hold on. I'm going into
What?
attack mode, you guys.
lean back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my relaxed posture.
All right, let's do this. Bad posture, activate.
Pew pew. For the listeners who can't see what everyone's doing.
Don't watch this week's
They're
episode
being
on video.
idiots.
Bad idea.
Supposedly it is fun. I have no idea about this game.
Yeah, at least it's got a free trial. Give it a go.
Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time.
I've heard this is really good.
I've heard it. I love the title too. It's such a great title.
$15. Frantic 1 or 2 player couch co-op action space shooter.
I have no idea what's happening. I've watched people play it, but I haven't played it myself. It looks pretty.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I would just play it based on the title. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, right?
It reminds me of like Love in a Time of Cholera, that novel.
I don't read very much. Sean.
That's not a good title.
No, I know, but it just reminds me of the title. Like it seems like it seems like whoever named this game had read that book. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Could be
Yeah. So that's retail and
digital.
But over on the marketplace, moving on, we have the playable demo of FIFA 16.
Playable demos.
Ahead of release.
Yeah,
2 weeks in a row.
That's cool.
That's the soccers for those who don't know, or the footballs.
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 I don't know. I haven't played a FIFA game since FIFA 7.
I've
You guys
never
play
played a FIFA game.
Really?
Because I don't like soccer or sports.
Dude,
just in
soccer is
general.
awesome. Sports are awesome.
They are. I just
But
don't
I'd
like
rather
watching
just,
them or playing them.
Yeah, I don't really like playing the game. I'd rather just watch a match or go play it myself. Anyway, September games with gold. We have the Deer God and
Oh,
the two.
finally.
Yeah. What is? Tell me, Destin. What is
No
the Deer
idea.
God?
I saw it on.
No,
on the-
it's it looks cool. I mean, it's like
it's a pixely.
puzzle or challenge platformer. Type
I hadn't
thing.
heard of it, but this is a nice way to get the smaller games a little bit of notice.
Totally.
On a serious note.
Speaking of another small game, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is also available.
That's free?
That's for the last 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Oh, I didn't
Wait,
know
no.
that. Oh,
It's for it says
9/16
from
to 10/15.
Yeah, it's going to be free very soon.
Got it.
Oh, interesting.
That's a good one.
Yeah, in a few days. I have that disc sitting on my desk. I have not played it yet, but I hear it's really, really good. People like it, especially that their Damon Hatfield loves
He
Tomb
loves
Raider.
it. Justin Davis also big.
I'm
Tomb
excited
Raider
for the
guy.
new one. I got to play it at PAX also.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I hadn't played it yet. Really good. Very excited.
Yeah.
Does it feel finished? Because Marty over here believes that it's going to get delayed.
Oh, that's right.
fine.
Marty thinks it's a 2016 game.
He keeps saying that.
It felt fine.
And he keeps being like, I think I'm now wrong.
No, that one's going to get it.
Pretty sure Marty's going to lose that.
Yeah, pretty sure that one's locked in.
Yeah. That's on Xbox One. And then over on Xbox 360, we have Battle Stations Pacific.
I'm
strategy.
guessing you
I don't know
fight
what that is.
battleships in the Pacific. That's my guess.
Sound
for that
guess.
game. Yeah.
Totally wrong. It's about the moon. And Crisis 3 for the last 2 weeks.
I actually really
Of
like
September.
Crisis 3. It was
You
really
did?
fun to go stealth and like arrow everybody.
Yeah,
the end gets a little messy and dumb, but besides that, there's some really fun levels.
3 was a game to me because I played a bit of it too, where it's one of those games where it's like it's good, but the bar for especially shooters now
Yeah.
is so high.
That's what I said.
Where I was just like, there's nothing special about this that makes me wanna like play through it.
So-
it's good. There's nothing bad bad about it.
It was fun.
But it's free.
It's free. I definitely recommend trying it. I played on 360, really liked it. The multiplayer is okay, but the single player, there's some really cool stealth stuff you can do and just have a good time. Just don't play like the last third of the game.
That's like, I mean, Crisis 1 was stop halfway through.
Yeah.
Before the
story.
It's old. The game's so old. Before the aliens show up.
Oh yeah.
Crisis always reminded me. I mean, I never really took to Crisis just because it always was one of those games that was like, look how pretty this is, instead of
Can
like,
your
look
computer
how fun
run
this
it?
is. Yeah, like it always looked really good and the graphics were amazing, but it never played that well. It felt clunky.
Yeah.
And slow.
I get that.
It reminded me a lot of like Killzone. You know?
Yeah.
Fair like
comparison.
where it just didn't really like move.
It was either
right.
Killzone 2 or 3 finally hit a sweet spot for me.
Was 3 the PlayStation 4 one?
Yes.
That launched
it
with
was. It was
4?
2 then. The PlayStation 3 Killzone
I
2.
didn't think I thought PlayStation. I thought it took me 5 minutes with hands-on of Killzone 3 to be like, this is terrible.
It's floaty.
Yeah. Not even floaty. Like floaty isn't even the right word because Halo is floaty.
Yeah.
And Halo feels great. It's
a strange control mechanic.
It feels heavy. It feels like when you swing your weapon around, like you're swinging it through molasses.
How does it make you feel, Sean?
It just feels, feels horrible.
Anyway,
I feel horrible.
Neither here nor there.
Crisis 3, free.
Crisis 3, everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got down that road, but all right, we'll come right back, do a little trivia. The Dookie, this trophy right here in the middle of the table, is at stake. Time is starting to wind down, boys.
Scoring a point today, Mitch. You better watch out.
Oh, gauntlet being thrown down right after this. All right, let's finish strong. Unlock block trivia time. The winner today is getting a copy of Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, for Xbox One. Congratulations goes out to Carly Hamilton from Frisco, Texas.
Carly, you can mess with my bass in Metal Gear Solid 5.
See, I told you there would be more good prizes for those of you that did not win the console last week. Carly won for sending in this question. Guys, which enemy did Marcus Phoenix fight at the end of that original classic Mad World trailer for Gears of War? Was it a Corpser, a swarm of Krill, General Ram, or a Berserker?
I know this answer, so Sean should go first.
I remembered this one as well. As Sean gets ready to give his answer, I'll remind everybody, Mitch in the lead for the year for this trophy, the quest for the trophy, 14 points. Destin, you've got 12. Chance to gain some ground here this week. And Sean Finnegan lagging behind at 6. Chance to, try to claw your way back to respectability.
Sharks attack from behind. So
go ahead.
Be wary. I'm coming for y'all. I said D, a Berserker. I should know this, but I've seen the trailer. I don't remember.
You just told me off the air you were never a big Gears of War guy.
I'm not. I mean, I played the first Gears of War. I've seen the trailer. The trailer's iconic, and it's awesome, but I don't remember.
Sean, if you played the first Gears of War, you would remember that a Berserker were the blind female enemies that need to be killed with the Hammer of Dawn because they are invincible. It is actually a Corpser, the giant spider-like monster that he fights at the end of the trailer.
Very good. Destin is correct. It is now, you've closed the gap to 1 point.
It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, it was 10 years ago.
Mitch at 14, Destin at 13, Marty at 11, Sean Finnegan at 6. So, we'll play again next week.
Watch out, Mitch!
Carly Hamilton, great job. If you would like a chance to win some sort of cool prize, it's probably not going to be a console, but it could be an awesome new game like Metal Gear Solid 5. It varies week to week depending what I have around and what publishers and fans such as yourselves are kind enough to send in to give away. Send your Xbox-related trivia question along with 4 multiple-choice answers. Please note the correct one in your email, and send that to unlocked@ign.com. Let's plug some stuff and get out of here. IGN Prime, I'll remind you, now's the perfect time of year to subscribe to IGN Prime if you haven't already, because it gives you an ad-free IGN experience right as we head into the big fall season.
Ad season.
With all the big game reviews. So no ads before videos, no ads on your desktop. It is a much more enjoyable IGN browsing and viewing experience. You can sign up at IGN.com/Prime. It's $30 for a 1-year subscription, so that's half a full price game, and that's good for a whole year of IGN awesomeness.
I like plugging the t-shirts. Go.ign.com/store. You can get an Unlocked t-shirt or a Fireteam Chat t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Rep your favorite show.
Awesome. Destin, what else do you want to plug?
Just my Twitter, @DestinLeGary. I'm working on so many random things right now, lots of meetings and stuff, but yeah.
Good times. Shark?
Destiny.
Yep, follow me on Twitter @IamFinnegan. I'm Finnegan. Not I am as in like the verb. God, I need to change this so that I don't have to spell it. Yeah.
Finnegan.
I'm Finnegan.
Instant Messenger Finnegan.
Yeah, exactly.
Change your dumb Twitter handle.
I produced a Lego feature where we got a bunch of IGN editors together and had them build Legos without the instructions, and it's hilarious. So go check that out. It's live on IGN.com.
Oh, I'm
The
releasing.
whole point of Legos is to not have instructions. It's to use your imagination.
Well, the whole point of the video is to
Make fun of Brian
tell them what it
Altano
is
and-
and see how close they can come without seeing how to actually
Interesting.
I'm releasing
I like
a Nolan North versus Peter Dinklage in Destiny video today. I guess I can
that'll
plug
be
that.
good.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that'll
That'll
be
be
fun.
it. Yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. Follow me over there if you like the t-shirt I'm wearing. I made it and I sell this one and others like it. Check out the link that's on my Twitter profile for that. IGN First has just launched for September. It is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which, before you're like, oh, just another Assassin's Creed game. This one, the guys came back raving. It's got a Batman-esque grappling hook thing now. It's very much more...
Played that one at E3.
Yeah, the emphasis is much more on just straight up fun rather than serious story, or not that there isn't a story, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of really neat stuff we'll have this month on Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So please check that stuff out. And again, the Forza Motorsport 6 review, Xbox fans, you should read and/or watch that on IGN now. The game's out next week. Now's the time to check out the review of that. And I think that's it.
Cool.
For the Shark. For Destin Legary, who thinks that my theme park ideas are real. My dangerous...
Leave me alone.
Never in a million years could that be legal. Ideas are real. I love you. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Most of you get the show on iTunes, but you can also check it out on IGN.com, YouTube, or any of our apps, like the Xbox One app. You can watch the video episode of the show there. And we'll see everybody again for Palindrome time next week.
Bye.